It is the biggest stories of 2012, along with some of your favorites. City Source is taking a look back at the moments that will make 2012 tough to forget.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
Plus, our exclusive access taking you to places and parties no one else can.
It's just incredible.
From exciting celebrations to the toughest of competitions, it's the best of 2012 on this special edition of City Source.
Yeah, let's do it. It is our look back at the biggest and best stories of 2012. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy. We begin with our countdown of the most significant stories to happen in Irving in 2012. This is according to the City Source team. Beginning our countdown at number 6, it's the latest extension of the Campion Trail. In April, a new 4-mile portion in the southern section opened. It and others were paid for with Dallas County grant money.
They have been a real valuable partner to us. They have contributed about $3.5 million to Campion Trails since we've become active on building the trails.
The goal is to get 22 miles of trail complete. The tornado that struck Irving in April comes in at number 5. City crews moved quickly to help residents recover.
And I heard it when it came. I never want to hear that again. It's scary.
By the time I got home, probably, within 30, 40 minutes, the city was out here, had the streets cleared.
There was a huge limb from this tree, came and blocked my garage completely. Couldn't get my car out or anything. It was all over my driveway. And I didn't call them, but I think my neighbor called the city crew. And they were over there and they came. And they cleared all that in my driveway where I could get out. And the nicest young man come and talk to me. I appreciate y'all so much.
She's been going on and on, said how nice you were and great to work with.
I appreciate our city crew. I just really am thankful for them.
You come out here and you hear people's stories, and you know, the last person that we talked to, she's lived here since 1963. He's lived here his whole life. I mean, these are people who, this is Irving.
Number 4 is Irving winning the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. Irving is the first city in Texas and only the second city in the country to receive it.
This award doesn't just happen. It's not just given. It's not easily given. It's highly sought after, very competitively so. And so you have to be the best.
Giving the city, the community, this type of award, I think really shows the residents that we're listening to them. They deserve credit too, because they really kind of pushed us to this level of excellence.
Irving will accept the award in a ceremony near Washington, D.C. in April. At number 3, the summer spread of the West Nile virus. Irving was among the North Texas cities recording cases, and the city responded with ground spraying.
This is a new issue for people around here to really be cognizant of the fact that a mosquito can make you so sick that it could kill you.
Irving monitors mosquito activity year-round. At number 2 on the countdown, economic activity. From new restaurants opening to the revival of the Water Street project, Irving saw a lot of economic development projects. At one event, representatives of Connections told us why they are bringing 800 jobs to the city.
We actually looked across the entire country, and what's most important to us is a great labor force. And as you look about business climate, environment, and labor, Irving came right to the top of the list. So we're excited to be here.
Very, very easy access to DFW Airport, and it's a very business-friendly city, and those are the types of environments that we're looking for.
And our pick for the number 1 story of the year is a moment that Irving had waited years to see and will impact the city for decades to come, the opening of the Dart Orange Line. Here's our report on the grand opening. It's the first train full of passengers to travel on light rail into Irving, and that means Dart is ready to celebrate. This parade marks Super Saturday, one of several grand opening events for the Orange Line.
Let's go Orange!
This is my first ride here with the Orange Line here new to Irving. It was awesome.
Leslie Landon has twice the reason to celebrate.
It was my birthday, so I had all my friends come down and we had an orange party.
This parade was the climax, but along the way, riders could get trip planning help, along with treats at the Bachman station.
Now I can see my grandchildren.
On our way to the next stop, we ride above highway traffic to the University of Dallas to check out the art. The campus expects to see the benefits of this connection.
This is certainly going to help us. It's going to create better visibility, accessibility for our students.
Now arriving, Las Salinas Urban Center Station.
Here there was a long line for orange snow cones as people worked to beat the heat. But there is plenty more to see. Some of the street fair attractions and parade entries are meant to get people thinking about some of the places they can reach on light rail, including the Dallas Zoo and others.
They leave us right there in front of the American Airline for the concerts. Don't have to worry about parking or anything.
The boys are very big fans of the Dart. They actually go to Plano to visit their grandparents, and on Saturdays, that's what they do, is they ride the Dart train. So they're excited about having the Dart train here in our own backyard.
In fact, 7-year-old Lorenzo has already learned a lot about light rail.
It goes by electricity and a motor power energy.
We rode with them to the next stop.
Irving Convention Center Station.
For now, the last stop on the Orange Line is here near the Irving Convention Center. But even as the celebration continues, work is already well underway on the second phase.
Not only on the second phase that gets us to Beltline Station in December, but already some very early work on the final section, which takes us into Terminal A in 2014. So we're not done, far from it.
It's visible to every passenger. The construction of the Dart Orange Line is already triggering development in the urban center. And completing that connection at DFW Airport is expected to fuel even more economic activity.
That's the main driver of getting the Dart line here. We have heard from our businesses that they want to have a convenient way for their employees to be able to get to work. We've heard from our residents that they want to be able to have a convenient way of getting around the Metroplex. We had a vote. Our citizens told us loud and clear that they wanted to have access to light rail, and we've provided it.
I know the community is ready for this. They've been invested in it for quite some time. With interest, we've paid over $1 billion into the system, an additional $100 million of capital improvement projects.
We've had a great partnership over the years with Irving, and today really does start a new chapter in that transportation book for Irving.
The opportunities are just huge, and the development for business and the growth of a business.
There are a lot of possibilities for transit-oriented development that we've been waiting for many years. We have the infrastructure built today. This Orange Line will certainly be the jump start even further to make sure that we were able to recruit businesses right around the Orange Line for more and more development.
Irving residents we talked to see that potential for growth.
When we moved, Irving was only a town of about, was it 70,000, I think?
Yeah, year 14, we'll be really into the big time. When you get out to the airport. Wouldn't that be great?
It's going to be good for me. I live here in the Los Colinas area, but I work near the Mockingbird, and it's kind of connection with my job.
We're Irving residents, and it's a great way to sort of get connected to the rest of the city. Yeah.
I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am.
And as promised, in early December, the second phase of the Dart Orange Line opened. This was a celebration at North Lake College, which is where one of the newest stations is located. Those were the biggest stories. Now to some of our favorites. The fun ones are coming up, but we will start serious. As part of 911 Awareness Month, Irving dispatchers shared some unforgettable calls to share what we can all learn from them.
911. This is emergency.
This is a real call that came into the Irving Police Communication Center.
I need police, or I need somebody to come and help me. I'm up here on this mountain or whatever.
It was an elderly female who called 911 because she was lost.
She somehow, I don't know, got disoriented, and she didn't know where she was.
Oh, please, I'm so scared. scared.
Fortunately, the woman had a cell phone so she could call here for help.
When people are calling from cell phones, there's a little bit of misconception about cell phones. We don't always know exactly where they're calling from.
I'm here by myself and I can't get...
Ma'am, tell me exactly where you are. Do you know what street you're on?
I don't know.
Imagine the challenge for dispatcher Ebony Gabriel. After a series of questions, these were the only clues she could get.
I'm in Irving or right outside of Irving or somewhere like that. There's a bunch of trees and stuff. And there's some buildings behind me and I don't know what they are.
She couldn't tell me any street names. She had no idea where she was, where she came from, or where she was headed to.
9 of those big poles, and there's a great big one in the center, and it's a white tower, and it's behind the fence.
And you see the big water tower?
Yes, I guess you would call it a water tower.
In Irving, there's only a few water towers.
The general area became more clear as she continued talking with the frightened caller.
I am so scared. I just don't have my faculties right now.
Gabriel continued to push for descriptions of the surroundings.
City of Irving property, no trespassing.
And combined that with the information coming up on her computer.
A little tower will pop up over here.
But that only provides a general area, so they sent police with sirens blaring and listened through the phone.
Tell me if you hear siren.
Oh, yes, I hear it. Yeah, it sounds like he's going away.
Okay, I'm having him turn around.
The call lasted nearly 30 minutes. The sirens helped pinpoint the location, and she was rescued.
Here comes a police car.
You see him?
Oh, man. He's right behind me.
Okay.
Oh, dear God. Oh.
All right, you're okay now.
We found her, and, she was really, really happy. I was really just trying to get the information in for the officers.
Although this call stands out, the problem is more common than many would realize. People just don't know exactly where they are.
That happens quite a lot. Even for accidents, we will get different calls where they don't know where they are.
The closest we can usually get is about 50 meters. And if you're talking about an apartment complex or something like that, that could be a wide variety of apartments.
So a lot of times we have to tell them, can you go get some mail or anything that you can find to help us? Go knock on someone's door if you don't know your address, particularly for people in apartments who just moved in.
Calls coming from landline telephones have addresses that immediately pop up on their screens. But about 8 in 10 of all calls coming in are from cell phones or even internet phones. Here's a recent one.
My brother fell off his bike and he has a giant gash in his leg.
You in an ambulance?
I can see it. He's completely torn off his skin. And
okay, what's the address?
I don't know.
Finding the location was also a challenge on this call from a teenager on the Campion Trail. Medical calls are handled by the fire department, so they got involved in finding him.
Irving Fire Department.
Hi, this is police. We need you for a medical emergency. It's going to be in the Campions, and it looks like they don't know exactly where they are.
This was further complicated by bystanders who were moving the victim in an effort to get help.
Are you on the street there?
No, guy on the Campion Trail just took my brother up to onto the street. I'm still on the Campion Trail.
Which street did he take him to?
Wait, wow, what street are you guys on? Valencia and Camino Road. That's where they
Camino Lago and Valencia.
Hey, bud. Tell them to stop with him right there at that intersection.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only way. That's the only way we're going to be able to find you and get to you if you stay somewhere. Okay.
The boy who called in did great. He did really good. He was patient, stayed on the line. He remained calm.
But not every caller does.
We ask a lot of questions.
Okay, and the child, do you know about how old it appears to be?
Oh, okay. Do you have her phone number or know her phone number?
Some get frustrated by the questions, but in most cases, help is already on the way as they're being asked.
Well, a lot of people sometimes are upset because they don't understand a line of questioning. All they want is someone there right now, which is understandable.
Officers are going in blind. They need to know if there's weapons, what they're wearing, what they look like.
How many calls do you get in a year?
Approximately 550,000.
That is a lot of calls keeping people here busy. And some of the calls are anything but emergencies.
We get those on a daily basis.
Domino's, yeah, pizza.
Sometimes people will get a little intoxicated and think that we're a drive-through and try to order food.
Those bogus calls can have an impact, taking up valuable time.
And if you're trying to call 911 and an operator is busy even for 10-15 seconds, it seems forever before you get someone to answer the phone.
Here's another time waster.
Any phone that still has a battery power can call 911. So if people who have old phones, they give them to their kids to play with, the kids don't even have to dial 911. If they just hold a button down for an extended length of time on that phone, it will dial 911.
Your son, I can figure out how to hang up your phone, called 911. And it's calling now.
Irving 911. Again.
If your child or even you accidentally calls 911, do not hang up because dispatchers need to follow up. It happens often.
18% of our phone calls can be from non-initiated cell phones.
There is a lot to learn about what happens here in the Police Communications Center, but dispatchers say the most important thing to know is this.
Where are you?
It will help them get help to you faster. It is challenging work.
You're doing a lot at once.
That many here find rewarding.
The best thing about their day is they get to go home knowing that they saved a life. They saved a life today, they'll save one tomorrow, and they'll save one next week.
In some emergencies, self-defense skills can be crucial. Ashley Roberts covered a class that is offered by Irving Police throughout the year.
No! No! Josie, who was asked to keep her last name private, won't stand to be a victim ever again. No!
When you talk to me now, you're gonna feel my strength.
She recently moved from Florida to Irving and is looking forward to a better life.
Texas has actually been my refuge. I came out here with my daughter to flee from domestic violence.
Josie was thrilled to hear about the new Rape Aggression Defense Program offered by the Irving Police Athletic Activities League.
When I read about it, I jumped on it. I was like, that's an excellent program.
And all of these women agree. Here, females ages 13 and older can gain valuable self-defense skills.
This program is new to Irving. This is our first class, and we're really excited to put it on.
Officer Jill Smith is the RAD program instructor. She says many women have wanted an opportunity like this for a long time.
For years, women have been calling up and asking us, what type of program do you have? Do you have something where I can learn to defend myself?
Well, ladies of Irving, it is finally here. The chance to learn techniques that could potentially save your life.
What I want to gain is knowledge, courage, and the ability to think here before I think here.
To date, the national program has trained 275,000 women.
Basically, this class not only boosts confidence, but our personal safety depends on us.
During this training period, Officer Smith stresses the importance of being accountable for your own security.
And this is one more way to learn skills, to learn viable options in case someone is attacked, that they can help defend themselves.
Officer Smith also says that it's important to carry yourself with confidence at all times. Always be aware of your surroundings, and if you have a gut instinct about something, you should act on it.
But basically, you don't want to ignore that feeling that says something's not right, because something probably is not right.
The 9-hour course offers classroom education, covering crime prevention tips. Yeah! Then it's time to hit the gym.
It's very empowering. You get to let out a lot of aggression.
For Mayor Beth Van Dyne, it's all personal.
I've got a 13-year-old daughter, and she means the world to me. And I think it's really important that we teach our young girls how to defend themselves.
And not only is the class offered for girls and women of all ages, but any fitness level or skill set is also welcome.
The great thing about this class is that you work at your own pace.
Remember, warning contact! Get back!
A chance to get physical and feel prepared to take on a potential attacker.
And I think for a lot of women, they might think about it or they might practice at home, but actually striking something and realizing how much force you have and what it feels like to actually get out a full strike, it's important.
It might just give you the confidence Josie has found here in her new city, living a life she is now in control of.
I love Irving.
Ashley Roberts for City Source.
To find out when the next class is scheduled, go to irvingpal.org and click on Community Programs. Some residents told us they had questions about the City of Irving's curbside recycling program. They wanted to know about how it works and what can be recycled. So we decided to take an in-depth look and got answers.
It is one of the best views in the region.
Absolutely. We got a great view of the downtown Dallas skyline. We can get a view of Cowboy Stadium, Six Flags, Lone Star Park.
It's the elevation that provides the beautiful vantage point. Elevation created by something not at all beautiful.
This is about 100 feet of trash that we're walking across. About over 25 years or so worth of waste that we've put in place.
This is Irving's Hunter Pharaoh landfill.
Everything that you put in your trash bag and set at the curb is right here in this landfill.
1 million pounds of trash a day comes in here, and it stays here. Contrary to what many believe, trash does not usually break down once it is buried.
So even a newspaper that was put in this landfill 15, 20 years ago could still probably be readable?
Absolutely. In fact, I've read a 20-year-old newspaper at a landfill before.
Of course, newspapers have long been recyclable, but if people do not separate them, they end up here, buried forever.
You'll see aluminum, plastics, glass, newspaper, and all the other papers.
A study of what Irving residents throw away revealed something surprising.
What we found is that about 80 to 85% of it is recyclable.
So you're telling me 80 to 85% of all the trash coming in here doesn't have to be here?
Exactly.
Some of that waste could be handled through Irving's curbside recycling program.
It's our desire to make that program as simple as we can for our residents. So the service is provided once a week. It's on one of your regular collection days. Everything that we collect curbside can be put into one single bag.
Wish more people would understand why we do it.
Michael Bell is among the Solid Waste Services crew members picking up recycling at all homes weekly.
Normal day is about 550 stops.
But what happens after the bags go on this truck? We followed them to find out. They travel to Garland and Green Star Recycling, a facility that handles material for several cities and businesses. The first stop is the scale.
Everything that we bring into the plant is, is a market-based commodity. So we like everything's basically controlled on volume.
Then the trucks empty their load inside the building, where it joins material from other cities.
Irving, you'll notice, is a blue bag city, so we know when their material's coming in, so we can track it pretty close. And we've had a great luck with Irving.
Crews use a bulldozer to get the bags over and up to this first station.
So Robert, what is this right here?
This right here is our OCC screen, which is an old corrugated cardboard screen. It scalps the cardboard off the front end. It also gives us an opportunity to do a pre-sort where we pull the blue bags open from the city of Irving, open that material up so it can be properly separated.
Workers have to move fast because this line goes up to 15 miles per hour. It's the first stop in what turns into a maze of sorting.
Cardboard's taken off first because it's the largest size material that comes into the plant. Then it goes on the floor and it's taken over to the baler, and then it's baled or packaged.
With most of the cardboard getting pulled out, the rest of the material gets bounced around a lot. The goal is to keep the paper up here while other things fall through the bottom.
Beverage containers, the ferrous metals, and aluminum will fall through the screen and the paper carries over.
It goes through 3 of these screens, weeding out smaller and smaller paper. But a little paper still gets through, so it ends up here on what is known as a bounce table.
Obviously fiber doesn't bounce as much as a 3-dimensional container, so what happens is the containers will bounce off this table and separate themselves from the fiber.
From there, metal gets pulled out by a magnet, all the glass gets broken, and plastics, they head on a new path, first going through a high-tech optical scanner.
It's new technologies that use a scanning device through a computer that reads the actual molecular makeup of the material.
This one picks out water bottles and similar plastics. Any that the computer identifies are pushed up by a big force of air.
It shoots that puff of air at the container and pushes it out of the stream.
Some plastics still need to be sorted by hand. Watch how fast these workers move to sort harder colored plastics from milk jugs and similar containers. So what happens at the end of the line? It all gets into bales that are sold to mills. This one is what is known as high-grade paper.
So what can this eventually become?
Toilet paper, hand tissues, packaging for clothing items.
Plastics are often popped to keep them from pushing back to their original shape. Some can become new containers. Others will be
utilized in making carpets, fibers, clothing. So there's lots of new markets that are popping up all over.
And there is a demand for these bales around the world.
Well, basically a product can be recycled curbside in Irving, come to my plant, be packaged and sold as a commodity to internationally to Shanghai.
What do you hope people get out of seeing this?
Well, first of all, I want them to understand everything that goes into recycling those materials they set out. The other thing is I hope that they'll take away that it's really very simple for them to be a participant. We end up with a variety of products that are all then marketed and sent off and get a little bit of revenue back to help offset some of the expenses of it. Take what you've got, throw it in the blue bag, and we'll be by once a week to pick it up and keep it out of our landfill.
Out of the landfill where it would stay, taking up space for who knows how long.
What we'd like to be able to do is maximize the life of this landfill, and if we can get those recyclables out, then this facility will last longer and it'll be more efficient. We won't need to site another one in the future.
Still to come here on City Source, all of your favorite fun and lighter moments of the year. But first, our year-end Web Watch. These are the most popular web videos of 2012. The story we brought you earlier on the 911 calls we can all learn from is our top video of the year online. Also getting a lot of views, and this one is a bit of a surprise to us, Bike Fest. Perhaps people were interested in the unusual way a city councilman made a smoothie. People also remain very interested in our past stories on Texas Stadium. They have gotten thousands of new views, and we'll be planning more coverage about that site in 2013. Come on, let's go! And rounding out the list, Hero Rush. More on that in just seconds. If you missed any of those stories, links to our ICTN On Demand site and our live streaming 24/7 coverage are available at ictn.tv. Also catch us at youtube.com/The City of Irving. We have more than 700 videos for you to watch, and we always like it when you leave us a comment. Hero Rush, as we mentioned, was one of our most popular online videos as people shared that through social media. It was an event that gave people the chance to experience some of the same challenges firefighters face. Ashley Roberts covered that.
Adrenaline is pumping.
3, 2, 1, hit!
And now the obstacles await them.
All of the obstacles simulate what a firefighter would go through.
Hero Rush! Come on, let's go!
This is Hero Rush, a 3.1-mile race.
It looks like it's a good turnout. The weather's good. Everybody's having a good time. What can you say? It's all good.
It's a challenging course filled with surprises.
I'm gonna get those kids.
There's some rocky trenches by the river. There's hills. There's pulling big heavy tires.
And then you had to stop at one point and do CPR to one of the dummies. So you had to do that to save somebody's life to get over to the next one.
As it kind of went on, I was like, wow, if this is what firemen have to do every day, then I'm certainly not cut out to be a fireman.
Hundreds of racers encounter real firefighter situations.
It was pretty challenging.
Going up against 40 feet of smoke and clutter in hoarder's hell.
And what it is you go up the ladder, and then inside you got like big boxes and trash.
Navigating through it quickly and climbing down the other side.
I was clean, now I'm dirty.
Treading through mud puddles and climbing up ladders. Making a big splash down below.
A lot of our obstacles involve water, and our runners are getting wet, so we know that they're refreshed when they hit that cold water.
Yeah, the wet obstacles, that was kind of cool because it cooled me off.
The cool down was much needed as participants faced a fiery finish line.
Fun, but very hard. It was really challenging.
But despite the Texas heat and sore muscles, attitudes remained positive and energetic.
I'm doing it!
We're feeling great.
How are you feeling?
Excellent, great.
And while it is about having a good time, A big part of Hero Rush is raising money to help our firefighting heroes.
We do have 2 charities, and that's something that we're really proud of.
The National Fallen Firefighters Foundation and the Irving Fire Foundation both benefit from this race.
Our firefighters are kind of sometimes unsung heroes.
Some runners also honored firefighters killed on 9/11, called the 343 Wave. Todd Maria and Michael Bishop ran in honor of someone they call their rugby brother.
He was a rugby player that was on the flight 93, so kind of did this to being rugby players to kind of remember him and have some fun.
It was a day of challenges and fun, of honor and remembrance. For many, stepping into the shoes of a firefighter gave runners a newfound respect for our local heroes.
Completely, yeah. I just got a little bit of tiny taste, and that was awesome.
I think this is a great experience for everybody because it shows exactly what firemen go through.
Proving many that the role of a firefighter is much harder than what they once believed. Ashley Roberts for City Source.
Athletic endeavors like that were a big draw in Irving throughout the year. The city hosted the annual North Texas Guard Games at the West Irving Aquatic Center, and we covered the competition.
It's the North Texas Guard Games.
It's a huge deal.
38 lifeguard teams from across the region.
Bueno.
On the aquatic park.
Reboot. Woo.
And some beyond
Mustang Corona.
are here at the West Irving Aquatic Center.
They are loving this facility.
This is the pool I work at.
Irving has 2 teams competing.
He's the captain of the first north side, and I'm the captain of the south side.
You guys go over there, and you guys are right here.
They are all showing off their skills.
If someone is drowning, you have to be able to know what you're doing. Play a game?
They are vying for a spot in the state competition, trophies, and
it is a lot of bragging rights. You always want to bring the trophy home to your city.
Part of it's fun, but lifeguarding is a very serious position, and getting ready for this competition and pitting their skills against other guards allows them to hone their skills and make sure that they're ready for any situation.
At the North Texas Guard Games, a lot of the competitions are going on at once. This one is a test of CPR skills, and it's all closely watched and scored by a team of judges.
We're going to be looking for the guards to make sure that they're scanning their water, holding their slack, and then they recognize that the victim is passive. And after that, they do the correct extraction. And then once they recognize that the victim is passive, they go into CPR and do the correct CPR ratios.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10.
When the AED is ready to use, they use that.
Everyone stand to.
I'm clear, you're clear, we're all clear.
across the pool, this challenge involves a patient with a spinal injury. Even though the competition is timed, the movements are slow and deliberate.
When you see the guards enter the water, we're watching to make sure they do a waveless entry because we don't want the victim jolted. They already have a jolt, they already have a spinal injury.
Take your out on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Some of those competing are junior lifeguards, under 15 years old. They can't actually work yet, but here they have to show the same skills.
I've always wanted to be a lifeguard.
It's helping prepare us to be lifeguards, when we're older and we take the actual American Red Cross, training.
The fitness challenge is underway in the lap pool.
Pretty tiring.
Clearly, it's not easy to drag a victim across a pool, but these lifeguards point out that it takes more than a fit body to do their job.
It's a lot more mental than physical. Like right now we're just doing a physical thing, but a lot of it's like in the game, doing CPR, rescuing people. It's a lot of mental work.
It's not good enough to be a good swimmer or to know the basic motor skills that go into a rescue. You've got to know how to prevent it. You've got to know what you're watching for.
Irving is proud to host this event.
It shows off what we have to offer, and then it allows people to use our equipment to train, and then they go back to their cities.
These lifeguards are having a great time.
I love it, especially since they're coming all around the Metroplex. You really get to see how the other cities work with their guards.
But most importantly, they are eager to demonstrate the skills they worked so hard to learn.
We got to know how to save people's lives. We got to know this stuff. We have to be ready.
An event growing in popularity across the country made its debut in Irving. The Glow Run brought out thousands of runners and even more glow sticks.
They are lighting up the night like no runners ever have in Irving.
Just trying to light up as much as I can.
Glowy gloves, leg warmers to match. Our one-legged tights are even better with the light up hair.
It's the Glow Run 5K, and these runners are setting out on a course around the Las Colinas Urban Center.
I've been ready for it.
Really looking forward to just like getting crazy.
There are so many runners, about 3,500 in all, that they go in groups, about 500 at a time, all showing off unique looks.
Well, I told her I needed eyebrows and a mustache and a beard, and she said, I got you covered.
Tell me about your teeth here.
I can.
Will you marry me? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too much?
Her underwear glows too, but that's for later.
Some ran as teams.
We're 50 Shades of Glow.
Say girl. Say girl.
Others in character, I think.
You wear this all the time? I wear this all the time in my races.
With so many bright outfits, some stand out by bare contrast.
Where's your glow stuff? Where are your glow sticks, your glow paint?
I don't need glow sticks, glow paint. I'm just here to run.
So Maura, we are the least spirited people here.
We are definitely. We're not glowing. We both have youthful, dewy complexions, but we clearly don't have the glow on.
The Convention and Visitors Bureau is more concerned that the city shines during this event. We found many from out of town.
We're from Bonham, Texas.
Oklahoma.
I'm from Scottsdale.
So you flew in just for this?
I flew in just for this.
They flew in from Albuquerque, San Francisco, Phoenix.
So this is having an impact.
This is having an impact, and especially because it's a first-time event. So we're great turnout. Love to see people coming in from out of town. Lots of locals supporting it as well. So this is a good sign for us.
The runners find more music and motivation along the course.
People in the buildings, restaurants that were supporting us along the way, they were waving at us and cheering us on. It's pretty cool.
They're like, keep going, keep going. I was like, okay.
This event started in the Midwest and is growing and glowing across the country.
It's basically like taking a nightclub and putting fitness with it. And so I think that's what's kind of spurred this, huge growth.
A portion of the proceeds from their race entries goes towards the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, helps to benefit research and to find a cure.
Runners start crossing the finish line. Some were motivated by fitness.
Good cardiovascular challenge.
62, and she's did her first 5K.
And she says it was relatively easy.
31 years ago, I did 15 hours labor. With her.
Did the BOA help you?
I think it slowed me down. Wind resistance.
Had a little resistance over there on the backside.
You got the tutu on?
I did, and I spray painted it glow in the dark, but it didn't really glow in the dark, but at least I tried.
Kimberly Young came to cheer on her son.
I flew all the way from Manhattan this morning to be part of this incredible moment.
His big moment came after the finish line.
You mean the world to me.
Yeah.
I love you. Will you marry me?
Shocked. I have no idea.
We're high school sweethearts.
It's been long enough, so he needed to decide to fish or cut bait, right?
And I wanted to do something that was symbolic, but also not like dinner and boring like that. So started tossing ideas, and we ended up with the funkiness of the glow run.
Why not?
And so glowing bigger than any glow stick is your ring now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I love it.
These three guys have something to celebrate too. They were the top finishers.
Yeah, that's why I ran so fast. I heard there was beer.
Hey, what are y'all looking forward to now?
The party.
Love to dance. Gotta dance.
It's not all about dance moves. Check out the hula hoops. We caught up with her during the run.
Have you been twirling those the whole way?
Almost. They have these great accessories. How big are ones? These are the minis. You want to try it?
This mom's accessory was a packed stroller.
I wound up pushing 3 kids.
A baby covered in glow sticks.
Yes. Yes, that's the party right there.
I'm sexy in the neighborhood.
So what is it about glow sticks and glowing things that makes people just go crazy?
Everything is the bright lights. I like shiny things. It's bright, it's lively, it's exciting. Hey, right.
Let me hear you. Open Gangnam Style.
People here are ready to run and rave again next year.
I'll be back next year. Not dressed like this, but a little bit more ridiculous than this, probably.
The Irving Convention Center is great. We look forward to coming back in 2013, and hopefully Irving will have us, and we'll do it again.
What can you see through those glasses?
Glasses? I see the future for the city of Irving. It's bright, brighter than ever it's been.
Along with that, another sport you may not have heard about is hand cycling. Athletes find that a disability is no obstacle to participating, and they found inspiration when a world champion visited the city.
These people are gearing up to go hand cycling on Irving's Campion Trail.
Best sport in the world for people with wheelchairs with disabilities.
And this day, they're getting some inspiration from the best. Paralympic gold medalist Oz Sanchez.
I hope my story of perseverance and being there, done that, can be a testament to where anybody can be.
The former Marine was seriously injured about 10 years ago in a hit-and-run crash. Adjusting to new challenges was not easy.
One of the large concerns dealing with any type of injury is depression. We all have our coping mechanisms. It's tough going from the way it used to be to the way it is now, but the bottom line is, change is a part of everybody's life.
He quickly took on hand cycling and was on his way to becoming a world champion. Now he's always ready to ride.
Now let's do it.
He joined other participants in this program offered by Rise Adventures. The sport can be tough.
It's a lot of endurance, and the first time you get on the bike, you might go 15 feet before your arms are gassed.
Rob Ritter started hand cycling last summer.
My happiness has been skyrocketed. It's actually getting involved in the community. Having something to go and do on the weekend rather than, just sit in your house.
For beginners, the hills can be especially challenging, but they know it's about perseverance.
A lot of determination. You gotta be strong-willed.
Mike Shellman has been riding for about 5 years.
I've done the Hotter and Hale in Wichita Falls 2 years in a row. Did 100K both years. 64 miles, great time.
He is now a leader of the local hand cycling program, helping others see the same benefits he does.
In my chair, I work a full-time job. I go to work every day, and I never get tired, stay in shape, feel good. Life rolls on, yeah. A lot of people with disabilities just don't know we're out there. They just don't have they think that they're confined to a wheelchair, and that's pretty much what they're gonna be in.
Rise Adventures also offers quad rugby in Irving, and programs have expanded to include more sports. All of them are free for the participants. The city of Irving hosts a lot of the events, and there are reasons why.
It's because Irving, of all the municipalities that I've dealt with in the Metroplex, Irving has Grapevine too, but Irving gives me the most access and are more willing to work with me than anyone else I've ever worked with.
Hey, I'm 63. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down. I love this.
The local hand cyclists will continue to ride weekly here on the Campion Trail.
One of the nicest trails around.
Even after Oz Sanchez heads back home. But they won't forget the lessons he shared.
That's my military tactics training there.
He inspires me because I know that I can always do better.
I always want to get out there, and I'd love to, take home a gold medal in something. But that's why we're here today with Oz, trying to learn more about it.
Whatever their motivation, they all say their participation is life-changing.
If you have a disability, this is exhilarating.
Fit body is a fit mind, and a fit mind is usually ends up in a happy individual.
The city's skate park at Lively Point Youth Center also hosted an event for disabled athletes. It was called They Will Skate Again and is offered through the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation.
Welcome to the first ever They Will Skate Again here in Irving, Texas.
I'm out here in Irving, Texas. We're just riding the skate park, and I'm here for the They Will Skate Again.
He's all the way from Las Vegas, and he's actually the first person in a wheelchair to do a backflip.
We're gonna teach some of these people on chairs how to shred and hit up the skate parks and have a good time with it.
I don't think he's quit smiling since we got here.
When life gives you a wheelchair, find a skate park. So let's go have some fun.
I started going to skate parks when I was 8, and my brother got me into it, and just ever since I've just loved the adrenaline I got from it, and just the feeling of achieving something, you know, like when you land a trick like a backflip or something, just feels better than anything, you know.
It's all about awareness. You know, just because you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean that you can't do anything. Who would ever thought that people in wheelchairs would actually be in our skate park, utilizing our skate park?
It's just a cool concept that the cities will build a skate park for you to shred the gnar, you know? Like, it's an interesting concept, and I really dig it.
It's all about our adaptive programming for our disability population. So we're very excited about the programs and activities that we're doing here.
It's cool, you know, like I'm pumped that I can show the kids at a young age that they can have fun on their chair. Since I was young, I always thought the chair was a fun toy, you know. So if I can put that in everyone's mind, you know, that's, you know, mission accomplished.
The Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau celebrated its 40th anniversary in 2012, and that team continues to find innovative ways to attract business to the city. I got a special invite to a party unlike any other ever held at the convention center.
As soon as they get off their buses, these party guests get a pretty good idea that they are in for something special. This is on their right, this is up above. And on their left, the front door to the Irving Convention Center at Las Colinas.
It's beautiful. We're having a really good time. You know, you can't beat it.
Fantastic. It's time to grab a drink and wonder what the rest of the night might hold.
So, good first impression.
Great first impression. I bet I have a better impression once I get in there.
So I'm ready to see it all.
Welcome to the city of Mustangs, to the city of the future, future, future.
Video greetings, showgirls, and other characters lead these members of the Texas Society of Association Executives into the first floor exhibit hall. Inside, guests are doing a lot of double takes.
It's just incredible.
Yeah, that's not just greenery. And that statue?
We had to walk up to decide if he was real or not. We decided he's real because he has hair on his arm.
I love him. I love him. I would take him home with me, but I wouldn't know what to do with him.
Please make your way to the next level of your journey.
As guests move up, more characters are around to greet them. And this woman, known as the Bubble Lady, shares some of her fun.
Yes, we're having an absolute blast.
She, like most here, is a first-time convention center guest.
I love it. I love all the different levels that you have.
This is kind of something on every floor of the building.
There is, and this building is so dynamic, and every floor has its own personality, and that's really what we wanted to show off tonight, because the group that's here tonight, the members have really diverse needs.
So who are these guests getting to enjoy this night of food and fun?
Who are these people? You know what? We have about 475 members of the Texas Society of Association Executives. So that is the Texas Bar Association, the Texas Doctors Association, the Texas Association of Blue-Eyed Left-Handed Dentists. You know, pick an association, and most of them, by their bylaws, are required to meet in the Dallas-Fort Worth area every 3 to 5 years, so we want to get on that rotation. We want all these folks to see Irving in a new light, see a great destination for their own association's annual meetings, their conventions.
If they have things like this going on, I'm sold.
Thad Evans told us that after he got a glass of champagne served like none he, me, and these other guests have ever had before. In fact, everyone we talked to was impressed with this server's skills. She says it's pretty easy.
You just got to figure out which way gravity flows. Changes.
A pianist and other musical performers dominate the 4th floor. After the real singers, Convention and Visitors Bureau Executive Director Maura Gast took the stage with a song that doubles as an invitation to bring meetings here. While sure, this night is all about fun, make no mistake, it's also about business.
So it all comes down to money.
All comes down to money for the hometown.
So I think the return on investment will be incredible. I think a lot of these people are very impressed by the space and what the convention center has to offer.
It's wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. It's amazing. It's state of the art. I'm so impressed.
It is my first time in Irving. I am thoroughly impressed. So much to offer.
They're going to have a lasting memory of this experience coming to this building. It's so iconic.
So as the night wraps up on the dance floor, the Convention and Visitors Bureau hopes these first impressions become lasting impressions. And these party guests bring hundreds of people with them for their next visit. Visitors who can generate millions in local spending.
They have to come away feeling good about the space, about the entertainment, and about the possibilities of some of the events that they can have in our convention center.
It's so awesome.
Some volunteers saw a need, and they found a way to use their photography skills to make a difference. Take a look.
Like a lot of photographers, these Irving women have had their share of difficult subjects.
I mean, everything happens. You know, they can knock you down.
Sometimes you just have to wait a long time.
They get very uncooperative.
But they are a little more forgiving considering their models.
Look at him.
Antonio!
Good girl.
They take portraits of pets up for adoption at Irving's Animal Care Campus.
Yogi, right here, buddy.
For Deborah Bronson, photography is her profession.
I have a photography skill, and I thought it would make sense to try to use it the best way I know, and that's to try to get animals adopted.
Look at you.
For Amy Maxey,
it's just a hobby. Good job.
She got started after she looked for a pet online.
I was looking through Pet Finder to find a dog for my family. And I said, wow, these are some bad photos.
Nobody wants to see the bars and the shelter environment. Nobody wants to see that in a photograph.
Sarah's the first one, this one right here. Oh, what a cute little dog.
This is a lot more work than simply shooting through the shelter cages. To start, the dogs usually have some pent-up energy.
They've been in their kennel and they want to get out, they want to run.
Just to be able to get out and run around is pretty exciting stuff, so we usually ask them to exercise them.
How are we going to dress you up today, lady?
Once back inside, it's time for a makeover to get camera ready.
If we could, we'd get the cowboy hat on him, but I don't think the cowboy hat will stay. We laugh when we're in here dressing them up and putting bandanas and bows and flowers, and it's a lot of fun. He'll look good in a bow tie.
Brownie.
Next is the toughest part, getting the pet to strike a pose.
Yes, oh, I know, it's so scary. I think the shelter animals are uncomfortable with the lights, the strobes. Sit, can you sit, Sam? They're uncomfortable with all the direction and sort of the intensity of someone trying to get them to sit or stand.
It can get really hard to take a photo of them.
A team of volunteers helps.
Somebody will hold the leash so they kind of stay in place for the picture. I'll help try and get their attention so they look at the camera. And then we just try to kind of make it go as quickly as possible since there's usually a lot to do.
Can I have a treat? Let's try a treat.
It's not easy to get their attention.
Sammy. Huey.
How close to this camera?
We have treats, squeaks, and cat toys. The essentials of taking a dog photo, I think.
This is actually a cat toy, but the dogs respond to it really well for some reason.
No matter how many tricks they try, sometimes it just takes
patience and time.
That's the problem. You just need a big hug.
I'll give you a belly rub as long as you take a picture, okay? Then you gotta take a really good picture for me. Okay?
Some seem to love the camera.
Wow, you're not going to be that easy, are you?
Others can't get past the fear.
Poor thing.
Of course, they cannot understand what is at stake. These photos could be what gets them into a loving home.
If they only knew how important it was. Oh gosh, another scared one.
Amy Maxey takes some of her photos outside, where dogs have to overcome the distraction of other dogs nearby.
They can be really afraid. So we kind of just sit back with a zoom lens and kind of allow them to get comfortable. You need a rub? Is that what you need? It takes a lot of patience, and sometimes we just don't get the photo. I mean, it just happens.
But most of the time, they do get the photo after hanging in there for that perfect moment when an animal engages with the camera.
There it is, I got it. That was the one.
You are gorgeous.
Take a look at some of the finished portraits. Leashes are edited out to make the pets look more as they may in your own home.
In these portraits, you want to see a loving companion. You want to see your best friend. You want to see your child's pet.
The pictures are posted online for the world to see.
I think it's having a great impact. We have about 5,000, 6,000 hits a day on our website, so it really makes a difference. And when they get that first impression, that picture of that adorable dog, they're calling and they're saying, I want that dog.
Sandra Nelson was eager to get her new dog home. She found Shaggy online.
3 different poses, like a postcard.
So that just made you come right in?
Oh yeah, we drove all the way from Rockwall.
When people come to adopt, people are wondering who we have hired to take our pictures. And when we tell them it's one of our volunteers, they are totally and completely amazed.
And if you take a really close look at some of Deborah Bronson's photos, you will see an almost subliminal image created by the reflection of this light.
If you get a good close-up on them, you can actually see the heart shape.
It is meant to be a hint of the love a pet can bring into a home.
Oh, you're purring.
Something that volunteers already get to experience.
It's really nice just to see their smiling faces.
So they don't mind the challenges, models storming off the set.
What?
Lounging on the job.
Oh yeah, that feels good just to relax.
Or giving a backwards pose.
We get a lot of business end of the door.
They know it is all part of the process that is ultimately helping them meet their goal.
Every one of these pets needs a good home.
We all love coming up here and doing what we do.
Yeah, a lot of great stories in 2012, and we will be bringing you many more in 2013. Don't forget to interact with us. Like the City of Irving on Facebook, subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/the City of Irving, or you can always email us at ictn@cityofirving.org. We will read some of your comments right here on the show. And that's it for this year-end edition of City Source. We leave you with some of the City of Irving's holiday extravaganza. Best wishes for a happy and healthy 2013. We'll see you next time.